And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. With me, I have a very good guest and a very good friend of mine. It's ACS. He's back again. What up, man?
What's good, man? What's good? Thank you for having me on. It's been like we were talking about backstage. It's been a while since we've collaborated on something, man. So it's good to be here.
It's definitely good to be here. And just letting everybody know, too, on the audio front and also, too, on the video front, this is going to be a little bit more of a laid back episode than what I normally do here at Movie Lovers Unite. This is just a chance for us to turn our brain off for a while, just have a good conversation with friends and stuff like that, and goof off about the old times, stuff like that, things that we've done and stuff like that. So, we're going to talk about some of our childhood TV shows that we did watch, some of our animated TV shows that we watched as guys, maybe cereal that we ate or whatever. It's just going to be a good time just to kick back and just relax. Yes. So, it's always good to be among friends and stuff like that. And it's good once again to have you. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your night to do this. Oh, yeah. So, the first thing I want to talk about is this. I remember as a kid sitting in front of the television set and just watching TMNT for the very first time. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, the original? With the
the OG. I'm talking about the floppy disk.
Yeah, dude, no. The OG TMNT was it's still fire. It's still fire. And the animation and everything, I think for me personally, it still holds up. Like whenever I see something from it, the music was fire. The theme, the opening theme, and whatever. I think that's how I was introduced to that because I think they were comic book characters first, and then they moved them to that and whatever. Like I wasn't familiar with the comic books before the show, so like the show was what introduced me to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's a good one.
Yeah, man, like for real. I remember just on Fox of course it was on Fox, 3:00 in the afternoon. I get off the bus, I'm ready to watch some Ninja Turtles, eat some pizza in front of the TV set, and everything, and just have some howabunga time with these turtles. And yes, it was based off of a comic book, a black and white comic book, but I didn't. Here's the thing: my attention was not on the comic books for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mine was like on Batman, Superman, Supergirl, stuff like that. Mine wasn't originated towards the comics. All I knew was the TV show, the action figures, because I actually had a lot of the action figures too.
Yeah. I think I probably had all of them, to be honest. I'm sure I did. Yeah. And they kind of, because I think they like re-released like those same action figures. They were made to look. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles went through some iterations when you're talking about action figures, but I remember those originals, the original action figures that came out in conjunction with like not the comic, but with the cartoon or whatever. Also with the movie, like the live action movie, which is fire.
Yeah, I still love the live action one. The second one is some questionable things with ice, with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
But looking at it now, though, it makes me laugh. To be honest,
it does. And I think that the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the live action movie, was, to me, it was groundbreaking. Like when I watched it, I was like, I was just watching this cartoon, and now this is live action, and it looked really good. And a lot of parents didn't like it at the time because it was kind of dark, but like I loved it. Still love that movie to this day. The first one is great. The animatronics with the costumes and stuff, like it still holds up to me pretty well.
Me too.
Since the last time I saw the movie. But I'm always gonna be a fan of
it. Same here as well, to be honest with you, dude. Because here's the thing, I actually got a chance to watch it like last year, and it's been forever since I saw it. Because I thought Frenchie and I were gonna go on ahead and do this review for it, do like a nostalgia kind of thing. But some issues, of course, at that time I was just doing audio, and we ran into some issues, so we could not record it. Yeah. But the animatronic stuff still holds up. How realistic the costumes actually look still holds up and everything. Of course, the pizza dude scene is always going to be my favorite scene. Though, and stuff like that. Just the nostalgia factor of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that is still impactful today, which is great to have a new audience that can appreciate it just as much as we do, and everything.
But it's. I mean, the franchise itself has stood the test of time.
Right.
There's because it just keeps coming out more iterations. Then you had the later live action ones with that had, you know, that was mostly like CG or whatever, which was, you know, those movies were okay. For me personally, not. So I don't think I've seen both movies at least once. The new ones, the Michael Bay ones or whatever,
Right.
but I don't think I've watched them since I originally watched them, like for one time, but not as many times. Like, to me, those movies don't hold the same rewatchability that the original does.
Definitely not. The Michael Bay ones for me is like a one-time watch. For me, but there's just something special about going into the movie theater as a kid, geeking out over your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and just having a good time while your parents suffer through the movie. But still, right.
That's pretty much what that was. Is and suffer through, like, what are we watching right now? I was like, yo, Splinter looks fire, dude. Like, Splinter looked fire.
Right.
Shredder looked it all came to life so well in that first one. And I was just like, like that's the thing. My mom would be like, yo, that's a brat. I was like, yeah, that's fucking great. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, it's Master Splinter, dude. Yeah, come on. You know, it's not just any rat, Mom. It's Master Splinter. But here's the thing: I'm a Boston kid, so whenever I saw Casey Jones come on there, I was geeking out over it and stuff like that. It had that Wayne Gretzky kind of feel to him and everything. I was just eating my popcorn and everything, and looking at my mom suffer, and it was great. But you know.
Yeah.
But what others? Here's the thing, though. I know that we tackled on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but is there anything that you wanted to actually reminisce on and everything as well?
Well, of course, obviously for me, like Transformers, like that series, the animated series, even before the movie, which the movie is a classic. But like the actual cartoon itself was very, very. That's what got us all to be fans. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can watch the Toys That Made Us Special on Netflix, where they talk about like the Transformers toys or whatever, but like the actual cartoon is what got me. I do remember some other ones that stood out, like the Beetlejuice cartoon was great. I did enjoy that one. But yeah, man, G.I. Joe, all of those things were just, you know what I mean? It was back in those things came out at a time when it was just like, yo, you came home from school and there was this and this coming on, and you like, you know, homework be damned, I guess, because it was just like, yo, these shows scheduled when they came on, it was like when you probably supposed to be doing homework, but you know what can you do about that? It's the Transformers. So that's and also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh man, it's Saturday mornings were.
Ooh, it was just like stop all the way through. You had your Ghostbusters. You had your Ghostbusters, man. You had your G.I. Joe, Joe. I mean, I was a huge G.I. Joe fan. I would tune in on USA Network, and they would have nothing but like a G.I. Joe marathon, pretty much. You may have like 2 episodes of G.I. Joe, and then it goes into James Bond Jr., it goes into other stuff and everything too. But also too, I remember Bobby's World from Fox. And everything, which was fire back then, though, too. And then, but yeah, Transformers is definitely one of my favorite shows, of course, and also liked how you can actually have a car and can transform into something, and you can and you have that in. I still have a lot of my Transformers cars and stuff like that too, to this day. To be honest with
you, if I did have some, my kids got them when they were younger. So I don't, but I do have a couple of things that I have that I'm not going to open them. They're just like, just a couple of Transformers things that I have that are still in the package that I'm just like, I'm gonna leave them in the package. But it's Transformers. That's my go-to when it comes to like that sort of thing, man. Like those cartoons or whatever. Like those are Transformers is fire.
Definitely, man, definitely. And then of course, being a kid of the '80s and stuff like that, just watching the movie and everything too, and like, yes, they're about to go ahead, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay because the heroes are gonna come in and everything, and it's gonna be perfectly fine. All of a sudden, it's not gonna be okay. This was me. I'm like, yay! And then all of a sudden, what happened? But still, man, it's just great. It's a great part of our pop culture and stuff like that, and our geek culture. Also too, another thing that I like was He-Man. I grew up with the He-Man, Masters of the Universe, cartoons.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Skeletor.
yeah. No, He-Man was fire. Yeah, He-Man was fire. Yeah, he and I'm looking forward to also what they got the Kevin Smith thing that they got coming on Netflix, like the new He-Man that they're coming out. Yeah, He-Man was also that was one of those ones too, man, where I had a lot of action figures and watched it a lot. That and Thundercats. Dude.
Oh yeah, I was about to mention Thundercats, to be honest.
Yeah, Thundercats that's up there too. And I mean I know they did it was done well when they brought Thundercats back a few years ago. It was a good show, not as good as what I remember from watching like the original Thunder, but it was still a good show. But I'm wondering, are they like I want to try to bring Thundercats to live action? Like I'd like to see it myself.
Me too.
That would be nice. But yeah, Thundercats was there's something about being a kid and when Lionel pulled out the thing, he's like Thundercats. Oh, like that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing that gets you hyped. And he did it at least once an episode. It was always nice. And they had a movie where they like broke it up into 5 parts. Yeah, Thundercats was nice. Those kind of cartoons from back then are. Yeah, I don't like this animation that's out today. You probably catch me watching Rick and Morty, but that's more of the adult type of cartoon. So like, but as far as kids today, like I know there's I think I see like Gumball and like just other cartoons that are on like Cartoon Network and stuff. So I don't know if those are hitting those kids the way like these cartoons hit us when we were younger. It could be, could not. I have no idea. But,
me either. I haven't watched Cartoon Network since I was like preteen, to be honest, and everything. So I don't know what's hitting and what's not, man. But I remember watching Space Ghost, things like that.
Yeah.
Space Ghost was my favorite, of course, because it was like closer to what Batman is, but he's a lot different than Batman and stuff. Mm-hmm. But Batman's always one of my favorite comic book characters, though, too. Yeah. And things like that. And, the Batman animated series is always going to hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah, to be honest. Think that's for me, the Batman animated series is the gold standard when it comes to like an animated series. Like if it's an animated series where it's like serialized the way that one was, like that's episode by episode, season by season. That's the gold standard. It doesn't get much better. I do love Superman animated series. I love the Justice League Unlimited shit and stuff. But like that series in itself, what they did with that, if you are in the process of trying to create an animated series along those lines, that's where I would tell you to go do your research, because it's Batman animated series is fire, dude. It is, and that's not even my favorite superhero. Superman is my dude, but like Batman animated series is, that sits on another level. As much as I love like Transformers and stuff, I don't see Transformers in the same like the way Batman animated series was done with the seasons and the episodes. Like that was just like a thing where it was just like. It was done really well, and I like the
continuity is really good, to be honest. Yeah, it follows in with every season, to be honest with you.
And there's also like watching it, it's just like with Transformers it was different. Like I don't, I'd say this, you can only take a show like that, like when you're writing the show and you're making it to a level of seriousness, because you are talking about robots from another planet that can transform. But like with Batman animated series, they treated that like a real life soap opera, and it was animated and it was Batman. So like, that's Batman animated series is really, it's up there. It's up there.
Same here. Matter of fact, I actually got a chance to rewatch a couple of episodes and stuff like that, and to me, the animation still holds up. Oh, the acting, to me, I don't know if it's maybe the nostalgia or whatever, but the acting is still there.
Yeah, the voice acting is still fire. It's an incredible achievement. Like that's why people look back on it like they do, because it was like it was like catching lightning in a bottle. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it just they just got it right, you know. And the music kind of came off of, you know, it's the music from like the Tim Burton movies, and so like it everything worked. It worked. Yeah.
For sure. It actually feels like a cinematic universe whenever you think about the animated series and stuff like that, especially with the theme songs, things like that. So that's something I definitely appreciated from the TV series.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you was like, is there anything else that holds a place in your heart as far as just regular TV shows go? Because there's a lot of good TV shows that I've watched. My favorite TV show of the 90s was Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman back in the day. I remember 8 o'clock on a Sunday, I was like yelling at me, "It's time to go to bed." I said, "No, it's not. 9 o'clock."
Yeah, I did enjoy that show. Yeah, I was, because obviously I'm a Superman fan. Oh man, the 90s, I'm trying to think, man. I don't think I was much, like, I know I was in the movies big time, but as far as TV, man, like I watched a bunch of stuff, but I think like
we can go there too with movies though too. So
yeah. It's, I do know television wise though, the X-Files was fire. I remember I fell in love with that show. Didn't finish as strongly as it started, but I still do enjoy the X-Files. I think that's a good show. The X-Files is still a good show. They had a good thing going. I think it's just one of those things where like maybe they too many seasons.
Yeah.
And maybe that's it. That's what you could say about that one. But yeah, man. Oh man, that's, you know, movies in the 90s. Yeah, the 90s was the 90s had some good ones, man. I will say like the first Independence Day was fire. I do remember that one. That was I won't forget that movie just because of like some of the things they did in it, and obviously Jeff Goldblum, Will Smith. You know, there's a lot in that movie that I like. But yeah, like, damn it, when did I'm trying to think about when the first Spider-Man came out. I think that was in the 2000s. So
2002.
Yeah.
The very first Spider-Man was, and I still remembered the teaser for it. And at that time, that was like before 9/11 happened and everything.
Yeah.
And remember the scene where they actually have Spider-Man trapping this helicopter in between the World Trade Center and everything. And I remember just be like, yes, we're finally getting a Spider-Man movie. I was excited and everything else. And then we finally see it as Tobey Maguire being like a perfect edition of the 1960s version of Spider-Man, which is perfect. But yeah, I thought it was perfect though in its own way, to be honest with you, when you look at the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
That's my favorite.
Like that.
It's my favorite. I think as far as Spider-Man movies go, I think Spider-Man 2 is my favorite one.
Mine too.
Yeah, it is. And it's nothing against the rest of them. That's just that appeals the most to me. And I remember when I saw it in movie theaters, I was just like, yo, this is incredible. Like, you know what I mean? So like, and the first Spider-Man is good. Spider-Man 3, I don't feel it as much as the first two. And the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I think they're decent movies. And then you have your Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, which, you know, I don't like those as much as I like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man stuff. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite. But like, yeah, the first Spider-Man movie when it came out, that's another thing. Looking back, I'm like, yo, that I remember that. Like, I remember seeing a trailer for it, and he dropped down from the ceiling like a comic book-esque shot upside down, and then he went back up. I was like, okay, y'all got me. I don't even know what's gonna happen in this movie, but y'all, you got me.
Right. As long as he was hanging upside down and had that Steve Gecko kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this is what we want in our Spider-Man movie. They actually understand what we're going for in an early 2000s kind of feel to it. Not to mention the soundtrack was also fire, because I actually owned the soundtrack at the time, because you had Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, and then you also had the lead singer of the time from Saliva doing like a duet song for pretty much like the theme of Spider-Man. That soundtrack is just fantastic. And everything too. And here's the thing, I don't like the third Spider-Man movie or anything like that with Tobey Maguire, but as far as the first two films with Tobey Maguire in them, I thought they were really good. and I'll still watch those two to this day. Spider-Man 2 will always be my favorite because the introduction to Doc Ock.
Yeah,
and
it was just nice. It was, yeah,
yes,
yeah. It was no. It's hard for me to find flaws in Spider-Man 2. It's good. It's a really good, like, not just a comic book / superhero film, but it's a good movie as well. Just in general, like, without sticking it to a specific genre.
exactly. And also too, I have to say I do like Tom Holland's Spider-Man and everything. It's more of an updated version than what we're used to, but for his version, it works for the younger crowd. It definitely works. And he's got the humor, he's got everything else down. But Tobey Maguire with the first 2 Spider-Mans will always be my Spider-Man, just like how Michael Keaton will always be my Batman and everything. Don't get me wrong, I love Ben Affleck. Affleck is just fantastic as Batman and everything. But Keaton is the Batman for me, and so is Keaton to me. Those two are tied neck and neck for me and everything as far as my favorite Batman goes. It's like, well, who's your favorite Batman? I said, well, it's always tied for me. It's never like one's ahead of the other. It's like they're both tied and waiting for the Flash to go ahead and try and beat them in a race, pretty much. But
Keaton for me, Keaton, he's the dude. He was the first live action one that I saw that I was really just like, yo, this is really fine. Like, because I saw Adam West and stuff, but like this was the first one that was like, it was taking more of a serious tone. But I think I would give a slight edge to just because I both of them are dark now. Both Batmans had like dark movies, like, but I think I give just a slight edge to Batfleck just because his portrayal of that in BVS is kind of what got me. But still, take nothing away from Keaton. Keaton's up there. He's fire performance is Batman. So, but Batfleck, I give him just a slight edge, just because I think his was edgier, and it was also like a thing where, like, Ben Affleck was like hardcore in the gym getting prepared to do that role. Like, I think a lot more preparation with it. Not to take away from the performance of Michael Keaton, because Michael Keaton was a good Bruce Wayne and Batman, same as Batfleck was, but my edge will go to Batfleck. But still, Batman 89 is fire, dude. Batman Returns is fire. After that one, let's see, was Batman Returns, not Batman and Robin, but
right.
Wait a minute, which one was it? Batman Forever?
Which one are you thinking of? Maybe I can help you.
The one, the Schumacher cut, the Joe. Oh, well, he directed both of those movies, but like, I'm just saying, like, the one that Batman Forever. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Val Kilmer. Yeah, I do like that one too. Yeah, the movie's good. I would actually love to see them put that out there, to be honest. The Schumacher cut, where they did cut a lot out of that movie. So yeah, I would definitely love to see them restore that and see. They like the big old the big bat. Remember they had like a huge bat. Yeah.
But here's the thing though too. I bought the soundtrack to Batman Forever because I love The Offspring. I love Seal, because From the Rose is always going to be iconic. Hold Me, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Shoot Me by U2. You had a good lineup of songs on that soundtrack.
Yeah, soundtrack was good. Yeah.
Jim Carrey as the Riddler just steals the show, while Tommy Lee Jones is also trying to make everybody pay attention to him, but everybody doesn't want to pay attention to Tommy Lee Jones. Everybody's eyes is actually on Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Then I also remember the McDonald's meals that you would get.
Yeah.
And they have those mugs, and I had every single one of those ice mugs and everything that they had.
Nice. I don't think I have. I probably had one back then, but I don't have any right now.
I'm gonna have to get you one or something, man.
Yeah.
It's just me. I just like collecting certain things from my childhood and stuff for that nostalgia. And like, I still have those glasses that my grandparents bought me. It was just one of those things that are special for me. Because my grandma, get this, I'm from Boston originally. So my grandmother would go on ahead and walk all the way to McDonald's, which is like maybe 3 or maybe 4 blocks away from her house.
Yeah.
And she would go on ahead. She said, hey, what mugs do you have today? Oh, we have the Riddler. That's the one that my grandson's been wanting So she goes on ahead,
nice,
gets me the Riddler mug and everything, and then next thing you know, she has it for me, and I still have that mug to this day. But I have all the other ones though too. It's just the Riddler's always been my favorite here, my favorite villain, and also too the Joker's always been my favorite as well.
Yeah.
So those two are my favorite villains in the Batman world and everything too, even Clayface for that matter. But you know, you know, and then another thing though too, and everything as far as movies go, we have Van Damme back in the 90s. We had Arnold, we had Sly, you know. Cage is on fire, of course.
Those dudes are, I'd say Arnold, man. I'd go Terminator. He had so many movies. You know, True Lies is ridiculously fire. Like, I just saw that a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, "Yep, this movie still fucking does it." It's a great movie. I love True Lies. But yeah, no, those dudes like Sylvester Stallone, man. All of those movies, the Cobra, that he was putting out there, and Van Damme, dude, Double Impact, like, those are some classics, man. Those are some classics. Those are some like pretty much if I catch it on, like I'm pretty sure I'm going to be like finished watching it.
Same here as well. Like every single time when well, thank you to our producer.
Oh, he said John.
No, I haven't seen Cobra. That's like one of the.
It's really dark, but it's pretty good. Yeah,
I need to check it out though. It's on my to-do list.
Yeah,
and everything. But you know, another thing though too is I of course, you know, I love the Terminator movies and stuff like that. The first two Terminator movies that I really enjoyed because they actually have this horror like element to it and everything. It doesn't feel like an action movie. It actually feels like a horror sci-fi story. Which is something that I really liked with the original two Terminator films. And stuff like that too. And I also had the Terminator 2 action figure and stuff like that. So, I mean, I was just a huge geek and everything back in high school and still am today. So
always. I'll be
there
until I'm done.
But another thing, though, too, that I really liked, of course, as well, with when you look at Sylvester Stallone stuff and things like that, I liked how diverse Stallone was. He tried out different things and see what worked, see what didn't. He wasn't afraid to try something new. He tried doing Stop and My Mom Will Shoot. He tried doing comedies. And Arnold was the same way, though, too. He was trying to be diverse in that area, too, especially with Twins with Danny DeVito and stuff like that. And there was some time... Kenny Garden Cop will always be my favorite, though, too. Especially when the little girl is trying to use the bathroom. There's no bathrooms.
Kindergarten Cop is fire. That's a fire movie. It is. I like seeing those guys step out of their element just a bit with the comedies and stuff. And I think now, like looking back on their careers and stuff, now they're just. Yeah, those are some, and they'd probably still go back to those. Like they'd still keep it as diverse as possible. If you're talking about like any kind of roles that they get offered. So I think that point in time, especially those two actors doing some of the movies that they did, which was like Twins is hilarious and it's a classic movie. Haven't seen it in a while, to be honest, but it is. Twins is fire.
Yeah, I still remember the Yakety Yak song, and then Arnold's in his bathrobe, and the girl comes in the hotel, and he's singing Yakety Yak. He goes, "Don't talk back." It just makes me laugh every single time whenever that happens. Then of course he's singing Yakety Yak on the airplane, and then Danny DeVito is just a hustler. And everything, trying to hustle off of people, trying to get in on people, and then he realizes he has a twin brother. By the way, they are trying to make a sequel to Twins still.
Yes, is it, how far along is it?
Well, Howard Stern interviewed Arnold. This is like when Arnold was getting ready to retire from being a governor, when he was getting ready to get out of it. And he said, "How long do you have? So what's going on with Twins?" He goes, "Well, we're still working on a few things. Eddie Murphy's still attached to the film, and we're still going to call it Triplets and stuff like that, but we don't have any actual movement on it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, number one, either they canned the idea, or maybe they're just putting it up on the shelf until they figured out what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
So,
I think. Oh shit! Dude. I remember hearing about the triplets thing, but I'm sure that they're all pretty healthy enough to still do it. I would think. I don't know. I would like to see that, honestly.
I think it'd be hilarious to have Eddie Murphy in there and then have Danny DeVito and stuff like that, and Arnold. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great comedy, to be honest.
It would be, yes. That shouldn't be funny. That would be funny. I actually now I'm really I want to see that for real.
But another.
Oh, that's the link to the
yeah. We'll take a look at that a little later and everything. But so what else stands out for you as far as childhood nostalgia and stuff like that? What's your go-to for coming of age movies or something?
Coming of age?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Stand By Me or The Goonies or something like that. Stand By Me is fire, and I like it. That's a dark movie too, man. It is. There's a lot of funny moments in that movie, but that movie's kind of dark too. For as far as watching it for the first time when you're a kid, because that's when I watched it. But still, it's really good, and that would probably be the one that stands out to me the most is Stand By Me. I know The Goonies is still it's kind of action adventure, but it still has a couple of coming of age elements to it. But Stand By Me is really good.
Stand By Me is definitely pretty good. Goonies will always hold a place in my heart. Goonies never say die.
Yeah.
But I love Chunk, the shuffle that he does to get in.
Yeah.
And then also too, all the lies that Chunk said, because that was just like that time when you said Michael Jackson came over your house. Well, he did. There's not a weak character in that entire movie at all. No.
In the Goonies, it's everybody's perfectly casted, and the performances are great. It's seriously, there's not even the cronies, man. The bad guys, they're all of them are great, man. So the Goonies, the Goonies is. It's probably the Goonies is right here.
Oh wow, dude! I need to actually buy that, to be honest with you, and add that to my Blu-ray collection, dude. I've been looking all over for it, man.
Yeah, I can't remember where I got it. I can't remember where I got it from, man. I might have got it at Best Buy or something, but no, it's been sitting in I got a stack of movies right there that I need to rearrange or something. But it's right there.
But matter of fact, when Richard Donner passed away and everything, we did the tribute to him. Get this, I actually watched the Goonies Never Say Die music video and stuff like that, trying to just revisit that Richard Donner-esque vibes to it, especially when we grew up with Superman, the movie with Christopher Reeves and stuff like that. And I love the Christopher Reeves movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Too, because get this, I don't know if you ever had this action figure, but I had this Superman action figure where basically it's you're having a kryptonite ring, and basically what it does is it knocks Superman down because you have the kryptonite as a ring.
Oh, it has magnets. It's a magnet. Yeah. I remember that. I probably did have it, but I do remember that though. Yes, I do. Yeah.
But but I remember for a long time that I would want to fly like Superman. I would actually go on ahead, climb on top of containers, jump off of them, and stuff like that too.
Yeah. I think if you didn't do that when you were a kid, what did you really do when you were young? Because that's a thing that's I did all of that stuff. I had a towel around my neck with a clothespin, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff happened because that was my dude, and I think it's easy to get attached when because the colors of his suit when you're a kid, that just kind of attracts your attention. So that's Richard Donner was fire. We did a little something to him on a show I was on the day that he actually passed, and we had already planned on streaming. But he's Yeah. I gave he means a lot to my childhood and a lot to, obviously to my life, because he did bring Superman to life for the first time in live action, which is, besides watching like Super Friends and things of that nature, that's pretty much how I saw him, was Christopher Reeves, and then he made all those Lethal Weapon,
Yes.
and just he was a fire director, and he gave us plenty to remember him for. So yeah, that's
definitely.
Yeah.
And the Lethal Weapon movies, I'll never forget them either. Lethal Weapon movies are just fantastic.
The Lethal Weapon movies are they all of them to me. Yes. I don't think to me personally, there's not a weak Lethal Weapon movie. Like, they're all funny, they all got action, and they all they keep the same vibe as far as what they built in the first one to the last one. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they're going to come out with another one or not. I mean, I don't know.
Well, they said they were trying to. I remember when I did.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. Yes. But I don't know if they're going to do it now.
No, I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Charlie's is, of course, is Lethal Weapon 2. That's his personal favorite.
Lethal Weapon 2 starts off so that's one of the best openings to a movie I've ever seen. Like, it just starts off going balls to the wall, and I was like, "Yo, I'm here for all of that." You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculousness. That's a great start to a movie.
Yeah, definitely, because you have Marta and Riggs going on this high-speed chase.
Yeah.
And then you have Marta, where he just got himself a new station wagon, and he doesn't want anything to happen to it. And he's going like 55 miles an hour. And here's Riggs. He goes, "What are you doing? We're on speed chase. We're going slow as driving Miss Daisy over here."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, we have to keep it on 55. We can't." He goes, "Look, this baby needs to be cranked up to at least 70. It wants to be cranked up to 70. No, we got to keep it in 55. 55 is where we need to be at."
Yeah.
But then, of course, Joe Pesci just ranting about Subway is always my favorite scene in the movie. Mm-hmm. They F you at the drive-thru. You think they're going to turn around, and guess what?
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The original script of Lethal Weapon 2. Ooh. It was still a good. I still love that movie, though. I love all those movies. Lethal Weapon's fire.
Exactly. And then, of course, Jet Li being in the fourth one was just great.
Yeah.
To actually have someone that was paired off against Riggs for a change and give Riggs a run for his money. That was great. Then, of course, we also have Chris Tucker. We had The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis and stuff like that, too.
Oh, yeah. The Fifth Element was fire. The Fifth Element, that's a classic movie as well. Yes. That's a good one. It's hella weird, but it is. When first time I saw it, I was like, "Yo, this is awesome." Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good movie, man. Yeah, definitely. No, I thoroughly enjoy The Fifth Element. That's like, because you kind of don't get that no more these days. With like that's an original IP. Like, that's an original like concept for a movie, and a sci-fi movie at that. And a lot of time, like these days, it's hard to come by those things. You know what I mean? Like an original idea for a movie. For a sci-fi movie, especially, just because there's just a lot of those, and there's a lot of sequels and things of that nature. So, yeah, that's The Fifth Element that's a good one.
Exactly, and get this: to me, the special effects still hold up today. I actually have it on Blu-ray and everything too. The special effects definitely hold up still. Then, of course, you have Chris Tucker in there as this guy who's supposed to be on this cruise and everything as the announcer, which is fantastic and fun. Yeah. Hey, I don't know what to do, but I don't have fire. I don't have water. But what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, he was like that movie was perfectly cast, and everybody did a terrific job. Yeah, I love The Fifth Element.
And then Shane, this is also what Charlie said, though, too. Shane Black's original script had Riggs die.
Oh, damn, dude.
That would have been dark for Marta. But I also feel like if they did that, though, it would be like too soon, because you just introduced the character in the first film.
Yeah, that would. Yeah. Well, I mean, and looking back, they probably didn't want to do it just because they're just like, we'll but they didn't know it was going to go this many movies. So, like, you know what I mean? That's probably why they were looking at doing something like that. But I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad somebody said, "No, we can't kill it."
Me too, dude. Me too.
Yeah.
Because think of it like this: you had Riggs in that story arc where he's down and depressed, and he's about to swallow a bullet because he misses his wife. and then he survives all that, and he realizes that life is worth living, and then you're going to try and kill him off in the second film after you redeemed him in the first film. Yeah, that's moving a little too fast. If you want to do it in the third film if you want to, because then you can actually risk a little something, you know. And yes, Randy, I do have the Fifth Element on Blu-ray. So, but yes. By the way, we'll try and watch that Saturday or something whenever I come over. So, but yeah, man. To be honest with you, there's actually some other little small things too, like Punky Brewster. I grew up with as a sitcom. I did grow up on that. TGIFs was always fun at my house. Boy Meets World, and things like that.
Yeah, like I didn't like Punky Brewster. I remember Punky Brewster. I was like, it's sitcoms, man. For me, it's like Family Matters or like you know, some of those type of shows that were
Step
on.
by Step. Yeah.
I remember Silver Spoons. Like,
oh yeah, I watched a bunch of reruns on that, man.
Yeah, Silver Spoons was fire. Yeah, those are because like I didn't. I'm trying to think about some more shows that I watched like that. That were like prime time shows. Like obviously there was. I'm trying to think, man. I remember the Flash TV series that didn't last, but like that show was fire, dude. Like I remember that show being it was just too expensive for them to keep doing it. Malcolm in the Middle was fire. I do like Malcolm in the Middle. Gave us but yeah, man. As far as back then, like those are just some of the ones that I can, that come to mind thinking about it. As far as like prime time, like sitcoms and stuff go. Yeah, TGIF was
But I also remember Coach and Dauber.
Coach was good. Coach was good. Yes. Coach was good. I do remember Coach. That was a good one. Man, what else came out? There were other shows that were out there like in that same probably on that same night.
There was Major Dad. There was Major Dad. Yeah. Wings.
Wings. I do remember Wings. Wings was good. Wings was funny.
It's actually underrated. No one really talks about Wings anymore or anything like that. No one really. I'm like, come on.
I don't even remember how many seasons Wings went though. How many seasons did it go?
Same here. I don't remember.
Yeah, but Night Court. Seinfeld was funny. Yes.
Night Court. Yeah. Miami Vice. Yeah.
Miami Vice. Yes. I didn't really. I watched a little bit of Friends. ER. I used to watch ER though. ER was nice. Is ER still on? It's not, is it?
No. Now, if you think about ER, think of Grey's Anatomy. That's pretty much what it is.
I remember I was on Grey's Anatomy like the first 2 or 3 seasons, but then I kind of lost a little bit of interest in it. But
I just feel like this. Like once you get past the 5th season of something, it just becomes repetitive to the point. It's like, okay, it's just the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, there's unless there's like. Unless it's based off of like a book or something where there's like several books more to go, that's one thing. But like that's why like a show and I know people like it still, and I have no ill will towards it. But like The Walking Dead, I was a hardcore fan of that show for but once it got to like season 7, I couldn't do it no more. I was just like, oh man, I don't know. Like it doesn't interest me the way that it used to. And I heard this is the last season. Maybe I might go back and try to catch up and actually watch since it's ending. I hate to leave that experience, open without finishing that. So maybe I'll do that, but yeah.
Just to piggyback off of you though, with The Walking Dead, I was hardcore into it from 2010, and then once they started doing the whole alpha thing and stuff like that, the last thing that I remember was Carol looking at alpha, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So because I'm like, what more can you do with it? I mean, you have everybody's story arcs has been told. You redeemed Norman Reedus' character. You gave some light and darkness into Carol's character. You don't have the original OGs in The Walking Dead anymore for us to tune in anymore. Yeah. So should I keep my commitment to you? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to break up with you. There's just nothing there.
Yeah. Nah, it's yeah. So who knows? I might once it's over and done with, I might go back and check it out. But yeah, it was really good when it first started. It's a really good show, but I just kind of lost interest in it.
But yeah, I know that Grey's Anatomy suppressed the 15 seasons through ER. It's just that for a substitute of ER, Grey's Anatomy is pretty much the go-to show after, since ER is no longer there. And everything, even though we have shows like The Good Doctor now, which is actually a good show. Then we had Nurse Jackie right after The Sopranos ended a couple of years later and things like that, which Amy Falco does a fantastic job as Nurse Jackie and things like that. But you know, as far as a go-to ER type of show, you know, you have Grey's Anatomy pretty much that covers an ER kind of vibe to it in a sense, even though that's not my vibe, but still. But yeah, I think that's everything I pretty much wanted to cover as far as this goes and everything, man. What about you though? Is there anything else that you want to mention?
I'm just trying to think of like I don't know, man. This is fun, man. This is fun, like going back because it is. It's always like my show. Like I mean, there's well, you can't hardly see it because of the sideboard, but there's a Back to the Future license plate right there. So like, yeah, that's going back like that. Back to the Future, and me and you have had this. We've talked about this before. Yes. Back to the Future is my '80s movie. Like that is my favorite, and
that's my go-to.
Yeah, and it always will be because the 80s are done. So, it is. Back to the Future is flawless. It's the story is great. It's very witty. Like it's a smart movie, you know, but not too smart. What makes you feel dumb trying to watch it? It's everything about it is fire. If I had to mention one more thing before we bounce out of here is Back to the Future as far as the impact it's had on me, and you know, I own it in several different formats. It's just the trilogy is fire. Like I can have issues with the second one and the last one. Very few though. Those two movies are really well made as well. So yes. I appreciate the fact that those movies exist, and that is one thing that I can always. I remember the first time I saw it, I was confused. My mom was trying to explain it to me. I was just like, "Yo, I don't know what." How's his dad this way at the end? It took me. I was a kid when I saw it, so it took me a while to understand like the way he changed things. But it's Back to the Future is the chef's kiss, man.
Mine too, though. To be honest with you, I remember my grandfather. Usually, if he wanted to get out of the kitchen and everything and stuff like that, away from my grandmother, he would go say, "John is tired and everything. I'm going to take him up for a nap." And we would go on ahead and watch a movie. He popped in Back to the Future, and I didn't understand a single thing that was going on. And then finally, you know, after a couple of years, I realized what the story was about. And I loved how smart it was, like you said, because you have Doc Brown explaining time travel in a way that's smart for the audience to understand. And you can also go in with the kookiness of it and everything else, where Marty has to go on ahead and make his parents fall back in love again, or else he's not even born. And everything. And I loved it. This movie is still my go-to as well. But yeah, I think that Back to the Future still holds up today. Part 3 is actually one of my other favorites, especially with the Clint Eastwood bit and things like that too.
It is. It's. I mean, you could. Like I said, there's very few things that are. The second two are. It's a great trilogy. Like it's one of the more classic trilogies that I could say. Like it. As far as movies go, so
same.
Yeah.
Have you heard this one though that Brandy was talking about? Margus Presents.
Margus Presents.
No, I never heard of that one. No, to be honest.
No, I don't know. Margus. I don't know.
I never heard of that one. But you know, it's just the reason why I wanted to do this was because it's fun just to go back.
Yeah, it is.
Revisit, you know, just talk about old memories and everything and stuff like that. And, you know, we actually get this. It's been a year last week that we did our first podcast episode.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
man.
I had it in my Facebook memories. And it was actually our top 10 spoof films that we did.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yo, that was fun. That was fun.
So I'm like, you know what? I want to have him back again. Yeah. So the way we can actually, because here's the thing, man. I mean, I miss you being on the show and everything. I know you got your stuff to do and stuff like that. But when we collaborate, man, it's just fire To be honest with you,
it is. Yeah, we'll be in touch, man, and we'll try to work something out again. It's like I said, man. It's both of us being busy. It's going to take some time probably, but we'll end up back on a stream again.
Right, definitely, man. And I do appreciate you letting me be on your live stream for the rating the action films and everything.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That was
I hadn't done anything like that in a while either. So yeah. Well, we did rate Zack Snyder's movies a couple of weeks ago, but as far as like the bracket kind of thing that I did when you came on, I hadn't done that in a while. So yeah, it might be about time to try to throw something like that together.
If you do, let me know, man. I'll be glad to go on and do another bracket with you. That was fun. Yeah. That was really fun, man. But anyways, guys, so my question for you, man, where can everybody follow you at if they want to follow you and all that other stuff? Where can they subscribe at?
On all forms of social media at 2279 ACS, add an underscore to that for Twitter. And then just search for the ACS Universe on YouTube. You'll find me there, my channel, my videos or whatever. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So real quick, if you want to, man, it's probably hard to find, but it's on Thursdays I do a show called Four Nerds at 7:30 p.m. every Thursday, and then most Sundays I have a show with my homegirl Meg. You know Meg, you've talked to her. Meg and Joey. It's called World's Finest, and we do it most every Sunday at 8 p.m. And then my show is every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time is when I do it. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
All right, you heard that. Go on ahead, follow ACS and everything. He has an awesome YouTube channel and everything. Wonder Meg is awesome over there and everything too. She's just awesome, full of nerd talk and everything. Everything that you want for your geekiness and your sweatiness, go over there to check them out. And then, of course, guys, if you want to, go on ahead. And if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, go on ahead and donate like $5 to $10 to us if you guys want to. This is just to keep the lights on here at Movie Lovers Unite if you want to. But a simple chair goes a long way. But if you want to, go ahead and go to GoFundMe.com/Movie Lovers Unite's podcast to donate $5 to $10. You guys don't have to. A simple chair goes a long way here at Movie Lovers Unite. So smash that share button, smash that like button, and all that other good stuff. Also, too, follow me on Facebook at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Night over there. Of course, if you want to go on ahead and follow me on other social medias, just follow me underneath the same name brand at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Night on Instagram and on Pinterest. And then, of course, if you want to, go on ahead and follow me on Stereo. We do some shows over there from time to time on Stereo. And then, of course, at Movie Lovers Unit. And then, of course, you can also follow me on Movie Lovers Unit on Twitter. And then if you're a sponsor and would like to reach out to me, just go on ahead and email us at movieloversunite@gmail.com. And for all your entertainment needs and wants, just go on ahead and check out movieloversunite.com. And those are all the places that you can reach us at. And also, too, Thursday, we're doing our movie review for Fear Street at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. We're reviewing all 3 Fear Street movies. And then at the end, we're going to be doing a ranking. We were originally going to have Fear Street, a Fear Street reviewer with us who reviews books on Instagram. She can't make it or anything like that. But I have some good news. Two Blurred Girls podcast is going to be joining us and everything too. So go on ahead, check out Two Blurred Girls over there. Tamika and Tamara does a fantastic job. And now also too with just geeking out over the Loki finale and stuff like that. So go on ahead, give them a follow as well. And always until next time, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. I can't wait to do this again. Thanks a lot again, Anthony, for being on.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
You're welcome, man. It's always great. And always until next time, guys. Bye-bye.